So let's find out how well I know the books on my bookshelves. Hi, my name is Jeanette and I want to thank you for joining me on the channel Jane Reads. So I was tagged to do this tag by Katie from Paperbacks and Ponytails, and it has 28 questions of how well do I know my books. Now at this point in time I don't know if I'm going to do all 28. I don't know. I had not planned on filming this video right now, but my mom would like to borrow some books. And before I take a bunch of books off my bookshelf, I need to film this video. Otherwise, it would not really be a fair video. So what Katie did was ask for comments and stuff with book numbers. But what I'm going to do is I've entered into a spinner wheel how many books I have. So I've counted all my books. You'll see the little post-it notes. Can't even find one. And I have notes on them so that I know like where the number ranges are for each shelf. One thing I did learn as I was doing this, that kind of each section of shelf, what I consider a section of shelf, has kind of an average of 22 books per shelf, which was kind of cool. So yeah, but that's not the way I'm going to do it. So I have 186 books on my shelf. Now that is not accurate completely because I did not include, I should move you over, I did not include any of my John Grisham books, okay? And any books that are like kind of like I have a box set or they're a double binding, I counted them as one. Okay? And, ooh, I didn't count just now, but I think I have 18 hardcover books. So when we get to the hardcover sections, I need a different wheel because I only have 18. I can't enter 186 because that's not going to help. Books 1 to 42 are all unread books right now. They're all on my TBR. Books 43 to 186, with a couple odd ones in between, are majority of read. Okay, so let's see how we do. So question number one. Question number one is, without looking at the description, tell us what this book is about. There we go, 76. Okay. So, without looking at the description, tell us what this book is about. So, it's a Dance into Dongal by Jennifer Dybel. It is about a young lady who goes over to be a teacher from America to Ireland. Yes, Ireland. I really think so. Well, now I'm wondering. Goes over to be a teacher in a one-room schoolhouse, and she's just lost her mother, and she's going back to kind of learn her mother's history and stuff, and she meets some people. That was very, very badly done, but that's the gist of it. Now, is it actually Ireland or is it Scotland? No, it's Ireland. I was right. Whew. Okay, so that is book number one. Question number two is, without looking it up, what is the genre of this book? Can't see that at all. How am I going to do this? Trust me, it's 131. Nothing But Trouble by Susan May Warren. This is, I want to say women's fiction or mystery. Okay, the back's not very helpful. It says general fiction. It is, book number one is Nothing But Trouble. Yes, book number one is Nothing But Trouble of the P.J. Sugar series, and we're following P.J. Sugar as she is learning to become a private eye. Yeah. So, yes. So, mystery, women's fiction, fiction, general fiction. I think I got that right. Question number three is, without looking at the book, tell us what is on the cover. And the number is 149. Okay, 149. 7, 8, 9. Ooh. Okay. What is on the cover? Is that the... I'm like, is that the question? Yes, what is on the cover? Okay, so the book is In Honor's Defense by Karen Whitmire. This is on my August TBR, so I really should know what's on the cover because I've looked at it a couple times when I did set my August TBR, and then like it's obviously in the video. I want to say it's a guy and a horse. I want to say it's a cowboy. It is a darker cover, more like kind of this color. So, do we find out? Oh. Oh, well, there's horses there. It is a guy. It's a cowboy. And then there's 3 little horses in the back. Question number 4. Without looking it up, what is the main character's name? Okay, let's hope I get a book that I've read. So if I haven't read it, I probably won't know the name. Okay, so it's 169. So 164, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, that's easy. It's a biography. I think the main guy is Lloyd Robertson. Wow, that was kind of a cheater book, wasn't it? So it's The Kind of Life It's Been by Lloyd Robertson. It is a memoir of his life. He was a CBC and CTV news anchor for years in Canada. And yeah. And I read this book last year and really enjoyed it. So, okay, question number 5 is, should move that sheet. Without looking it up, name a side character. Again, I really hope this is a book I've read. Number 63. So it should be, oh boy, I have no idea. Twisted Innocence by Terry Blackstock. This is a mystery suspense. It is part of the Moonlighter series. I couldn't tell you. I have no idea. I read this quite a few years ago. It's actually one of the books that I'm hoping to reread this year. And I have not got to it yet. I have no idea. No idea. Brittany? Is Brittany a main character though? Though Holly, Creed, Creshaw, Lily's father. Holly has kept Creed's identity a secret. Lily moves with Holly. Okay, so Brittany is not a main character that's listed on the back. So, Brittany. I couldn't tell you what her role is. No idea. So, that's my punishment for getting that really easy one. Okay. So, next question is, let me start the spinner. Next question is, guess how many pages the book has without looking it up. 25 or below, like 25 pages or below, counts as a win. Or 25 pages below or above. So like a range of 50 counts as a win. So, book number 148. 47, 48. Wow, we're getting another biography type memoir. So this is Choosing to See by Mary Beth Chapman. This talks about, she is the wife of Stephen Curtis Chapman, and it talks about the loss of their daughter, Maria. How many pages does it have? Well, I want to say it's not a very big book, so I want to say 256. Now I just picked a really odd number that's not going to help me with 25 pages, right? Okay, let's skip the acknowledgements. Oh, I'm good. 273. I don't know if you can see. 273. Is that within 25 pages of 256? Yes, it is. It had to be less than 300. I have read that book quite a few years ago. Okay, here comes a tricky question. Without looking it up, what rating did you give this book? If you land on a book that you haven't read, pick another book. Okay, so 117. That should be a book I've read. So 117, 102. Oh. Okay, Lake of the Cross by L.D. Stoth. I have read this book. I just read it, I want to say last year. I don't think it was this year. I think it was last year. What did I rate it? 4, 5 stars? Campground Mystery. This is book 2 of the series. I really enjoyed book 1. Did I enjoy book 2 as much as I did book 1? I'm going to say I gave it 5 stars. That's what I'm going to say. Now let's see what I actually gave it. I gave it 5 stars. And when did I read it? Oh, it was this year I read it. Okay, wow. But I don't actually have the date on here. Like, it doesn't tell me. But it's shelved on my 2023 shelf. Question number 8. Without looking, where does this book take place? It's going to be another tricky question for me. I do not have a good memory when it comes to this. Okay, number 18. Well, this is a book I haven't read. So, your guess is as good as mine. 16, 17, 18. Well, I have a guess. So, it is Backlash by Rachel Dillon. It is part of the series called Capital Intrigue. I know her previous series that I read by her took place in Washington, D.C. At least I'm pretty sure that's where it was. And it says Capital Intrigue. So it's at a capital somewhere? Is it at a capital building? Is it in a capital city? Is it like the capital of the country? Does it say where it takes place? The opening does not tell me. Okay. Now, Layla weaved quickly through the Saturday crowd that had gathered for the Fall Street Festival in Old Town Alexandria. So Virginia. That is going to be my guess. That's my guess. Question number 9. Without looking, what are the parents' names? Number 53. Okay, so I've read this book. 53. Oh, I have no idea. Again, no idea. So it's Evidence of Mercy by Terry Blackstock. Sorry for the reflection. I couldn't even tell you the main characters' names. Never mind the parents' names. Main characters are Linda and Jake. I'm going to say there's probably not really active parents in this one. It mentions Biltmore. So maybe it takes place in North Carolina? I don't know. Okay, I have no idea. Again, it's an older book. Haven't read it for a number of years. Okay, now we are on hardcovers. Okay, so as I said, I have 18 hardcovers. So hardcover number 1 starts here. Catching Christmas by Terry Blackstock. Okay, so the question is, without looking at the hardcover, what color is the book under the dust jacket? Book number 18. Okay, so we're on the very, very last. So apparently I have 20 hardcover books, but I didn't count the last two because they do not have dust jackets on them, so I can see covers. So this is book number 18. It is Anne of the Island by Ellen Montgomery, and it's going to be like a whitish vanilla cream kind of color. I'm pretty sure. I just realized. Okay, book number, what I thought. This is Anne of Ingleside by Ellen Montgomery. So part of this series, except it's not the right height. But it's close. Huh, interesting. I didn't see I had the cover on because I didn't really... That's cool. Except my other Anne book doesn't match. It's green. Okay. Okay, so I got that one right. So another hardback question. Without looking, is there anything on the hardback under the dust jacket, like an image or an imprint? Okay, we've got book number 2. Okay, so this is book number 1. So this is book number 2. Okay, so I read this book with the dust jacket off. Do I remember there being anything on it? Like an image or anything? I can tell you the book is black. I want to say no. I think there's just the title on the spine. I was like, you know, something here. Let's see. Do you see anything? I don't see anything other than my grimy fingerprints. And the title on the spine. If you'd asked me the color, I probably would not have got it right. And absolutely nothing on the back. So, that's because, I do know that, but that's because I read majority of my hardcovers without the dust jacket on them. Now we've got harder hardback question. Without looking, what color is the font on the spine underneath the dust jacket? So we've had books 2 and book 18, so let's not get one of those. Lucky number 13. Ooh, tricky question. Okay, again, it's a book I read without the dust jacket on. Alex Trebek, The Answer Is. So this is a memoir of Alex Trebek's life, and he was the host of Jeopardy for a number of years. I loved watching Jeopardy. Not so much anymore, but I really enjoyed watching it when he was the host, so I was really excited when this one came out. And he is Canadian, so what color is the font on the spine? The dust jacket, or like the book itself, is black. I want to say it's like a yellow font, kind of like this. I want to say, like a yellowy gold. Okay, so it is black. It's gold. Ooh, can you see that? Okay, that's not giving you the true color, I don't think. But it is gold. Oh. Okay. I do know my hardbacks. As I said, I read majority of them without the cover on, so... Okay, so we're going back to our regular numbers, to all our shelves. Question number 13. Without looking, do the chapters have titles or are they just numbered? And we have book number 37. This is a book I haven't read. I'm not going to know the answer to this. Okay, so that book is The Prince of Spies by Elizabeth Camden. Again, it's a book from my TBR shelf, and it's a book that's a priority read for this year. Not sure if I'm going to get to it, but okay. So I've only read one book by Elizabeth Camden so far. And did it have just numbers, or did it have titles on the chapters? I want to say there's just numbers. I want to say it's just numbers. Let's find out. I don't want to go too far in because I don't want to be spoiled, right? Okay. Just numbers. The numbers and words. Okay, the next question is, without looking at the cover, is there an award on it? 143. Okay, so that book is Life Support by Robert Whitlow. I want to say no. I don't think so. No. I don't have a lot of books that have a word on the cover. So, yeah. And again, it's another book that's on my priority read for this year. Without looking, does this book have any author blurbs on the cover? $107. Okay. So the book is The Crushing Depths by Danny Petrie. I don't think so. I feel like the cover just has like the cover photo and her name. I don't think so. Ooh, doesn't have, okay, so it's got the cover photo, the name of the book, her name, and then underneath her name it says, from the best-selling author of the Alaskan Courage and Chesapeake Valley series. And then it says Coastal Guardians Book 2. So it is Book 2. And I read this one this year as part of my priority reads. Okay. Is there even... There is no author blurb on the back either. Unless we get certain numbers, this one should be fairly easy to answer for me. The question is, without looking, does the book have a description on the back? My standard answer is, yes, of course it does. Ooh, book 175. Okay. So, the book is Emma by Jane Austen. And as I said, my standard answer is yes, because it is a paperback, and majority of paperbacks have a description on the back. So does this one? Yes. Well, yes, it does. The way it first read, I was like, maybe it's not. The most perfect of Jane Austen's novels centers around 21-year-old Emma Woodhouse, comfortably dominating the social order in the village of Highbury, convinced that she has both the understanding and the right to manage other people's lives for their own good, of course. Her well-meant interfering begins with the aloof Jane Fairfax, the dangerously attractive Frank Churchill, the foolish yet appealing Harriet Smith, and the ambitious young vicar Mr. Elton, and ends with Emma's own complacency shattered, her mind awakened to some of life's more intractable dilemmas, and her happiness assured. Jane Austen's comic imagination is so deft and beautifully fluent that her stories probe the deepest human ironies while setting before us a dazzling gallery of characters, some prestigious or ridiculous, some admirable and moving, but all utterly true. Now, this is on my want to read list. I have not read this one yet. I have seen the movie, but I have not read it. So, without looking, does this book have an author photo? Number 107. Again, this is why I stopped trying. Okay, 107. 5, 6, 7. Didn't I just have 107? Because if it's the book, I think, yes. I'm going to spin again because I just looked at the back of that book. It was The Crushing Depths by Danny Petrie. So let's try that again. Number 8. Okay, so that is an unread book. Let's move you so that you can see that I'm not cheating as I try to pull it out. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so the book is, I forgot the name, Where Hope Begins by Catherine West. Is there an author photo? Was that, yes. Does the book have an author photo? I don't know. I've never read a Catherine West book before, and other than getting it, putting it on my shelf, I can't say I really looked at it. But majority of books do have an author photo, so I want to say yes. I think it does. Ooh, there's not one on the back. Oh boy. Oh. But there is one. So it's not on the back, but there is one. Okay, number 18. Without looking it up, is this author using a pen name? I'm not good at these. I have no idea on majority of my authors. Unless I follow them on Instagram, then I'm pretty sure they're using their own name. Book number 153. So 150, oh. I really like, oh no, I'm on the wrong shelf. I was going to say I really like when it lands on a biography, but I was on the wrong shelf. 150, 1, 2, 3, well, okay. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I know this one for a fact. Christy Barrett. This is Keeping Guard. That is her name. That is not a pen name. I don't think it's this one, but I do have a book signed by her. I used to be on her launch team for a lot of books back in the day. So yes, I do know that this one, her name is Christy Barrett. Her husband's name's Scott. She has 2 boys. I'm Facebook friends with her. So, yeah. This is another question that I'm not good at. I always is it? I don't know. So, okay, the question is, without peeking, what point of view is this book written in? Is it in third or first? Okay, I read that question backwards. Is it in first or third? So, book number 91. Okay. The book is True Honor by D. Henderson. You're seeing kind of all the nostalgia books I have. I think this book, oh my gosh. I think this book is also one of my priority reads for this year. Wow. Okay. Is it in first or third person? Which is which? First person is when it's I, me, we went. And third is they, she, right? Right? I think so. If that's not right, if it's the opposite way around, I'm sorry, forgive me. English, not my strong suit. Okay, I want to say it is in third person. Let's open to the beginning and see how it's written. There's a map in it. Okay. I think it's third person. There was a bounty on Darcy St. James' life, and in the world where she had once worked, having someone come after her was still more likely than not. That's the first sentence. Tell me. Is that third? I think so. She. Okay, question number 20. Without looking, are there any pictures or graphics in the book? Not a lot of my books have pictures in them. So let's see. 163. Okay. So, it is Mission Out of Control by Susan May Warren. It is a love-inspired suspense book. It is romantic suspense. No, there are no pictures in it. Other than, like, not that are part of the book. There's ads in it. There's ads in it. Does that count? But for the actual book itself, no. Other than, like, you know, the ad at the back advertising another book. But as part of the story, no. There is not. Question number 21. Without looking, does it have an epilogue? My favorite books have epilogues. I love when a book has an epilogue and kind of wraps it up or tells us what's happened now. Number 121. Oh boy. Oh boy, I just read this book. When Twilight Breaks by Sarah Sundin. I just read this book. Like June, July. Like, I just read this book. I want to say July. Does it have an epilogue? I couldn't tell you. I don't think so. I do not think so. I'm glad it's a book I read, though, because now when I look... Dear reader... New release... No, it does not. It ends at chapter 47 and then goes into a sneak peek. So no, it does not. Whew. I was like, wow, if I don't really remember that from like a month ago, that'd be really bad. The next question takes it the other way. Does this book have a prologue? Well, we have book number 127. You're going to be so tired of me saying this. I'm tired of me saying this. This is a book that's on my priority reads for this year. Because I need to know. I read it quite a few years ago. And do I still want it on my shelves? We're talking an older book. So it is Dreaming in Technicolor by Laura Jensen Walker. It is book 2 of a Phoebe Grant novel. So that's the series. No, it does not have a prologue. Because it's book 2. No. It does not. No, it does not. It starts on chapter 1. Next question is, without looking, is this book signed? I want to say no. A lot of my books are not signed, but what number is I'm going to get? As I told you, I'm not good at English. And English is my main and only language. Okay, anyways, the book is number 132. We had its companion today, earlier. Okay, so it is Licensed to Trouble by Susan May Warren. This is book 2 of the PJ Sugar series. I have read this book recently. I want to say 2022. But no, it is not signed. I do not have any books signed by Susan May Warren. So, no, it is not. Without looking, do the page numbers have a design above or below them, or none at all? So are there designs on the page numbers, like around the page numbers, or is it just the page number? 150. Did I not already have 150? Okay, so it is a different book, same book, different question. In Honor's Defense by Karen Whitmire. As I said, this is on my August TBR to read. I have not read this book. I haven't opened it up to see. I've seen the cover. It is book 3 of the Hanger's Horseman series. Do the page numbers have anything extra other than numbers? No, I do not think so. I think it's just basic numbers. Again, I'm going to go near the beginning because I don't want to spoil anything. And it is just the page number at the bottom of the page. Without looking, do the chapters have designs on them? Again, I want to say most likely not, but that one book I did show you did have a design under the chapter number, so maybe. What book are we getting? 157. We really like this section of my shelf. Okay, we've already had this book. Did I open it up? No, I don't think I did. Okay. Alex Trebek. The answer is, do the chapter numbers have any designs on them? I don't think so. I want to say, if anything, they have like titles. And I can open it everywhere because it doesn't matter. Oh, they're not even chapter numbers. Not even chapter numbers. They're just titles. So there's no designs, but I was wrong both ways. Without looking, are there acknowledgements in the front or the back of the book? 103. So the book is Another Day, Another Dolly by Sandra Orchard. I read this book this year. I don't remember there being acknowledgements, but I want to say no, there are none. And there's definitely none on the front. There's definitely none on the back. Nope. Nope. Oh, was it the front or the back? So no, there is none. Whew. Good. Last two tricky questions. Okay, so the next question is, without looking, what year was this book published? We are going for book number 157. That's like a very common number. Like, that's the Alex Trebek book. What did I say? I think I said 2019. $2020. So close. Okay, the very last question is, without looking, what year did you read this book? 54. Number 54. Okay. I have read this book on Goodreads and recorded on Goodreads. Justifiable Means by Terry Blackstock. It is book 2 of the Suncoast Chronicles series. And I want to say, so I do have it recorded on Goodreads. I want to say I read it in 2012. I don't really know. 2015. But I only rated it 3 stars at the time. So why is it still on my shelves? Because it's Terry Blackstock. Okay, so, well, do I know my shelves or do I not know my shelves? I want to say 50-50 probably. I know kind of what my books look like, what books I have on my shelves. Do I know inside the books what the story's about? No, not really. Not really well anyways. So yeah, so that is how well do I know my bookshelves. Now I'm not going to tag anybody on this video, but if you want to do this video, do it. Do it however you want to do it. So yeah, I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video today, and I hope you have a good day. Bye.